Hi and welcome to the Geek Legion of Doom. This is a TV pilot review and I'll be having a look at the pilot episode of Salem. So Salem basically is set in the 1600s and deals with the kind of I should probably imagine, the birth of witchcraft and witch hunting. And certainly within America at least. And the kind of the main character has a guy called John Alden, and he's a soldier who, it's in the beginning, is, basically your kind of protagonist, your kind of good man, so to speak. A bit rough around the edges maybe. And he's got this potential love interest, but he has to sort of go off to fight in a war, and he's sort of gone unexpectedly for a long time, 7 years or so. And he comes back to find that the town has changed dramatically, and the sort of persecution of witchcraft is rampant. And he's a bit of a skeptic initially, and everyone who's he's known has sort of changed somewhat. But unbeknownst to him initially, there actually is really witchcraft going on, and they have a kind of their claws in many things, shall we say. And there's lots of real witches that have their own sort of nefarious plans, and it all comes across as very, very sort of soapy, with the kind of vindictive vendettas against sort of different people and that kind of thing. And everyone's kind of after their own interests at the end of the day. So what's the pilot like? Like I said, it comes across as a very sort of soap opera-ish type show. First thing I would say though is the production values on the show do look very, very good. It looks very kind of authentic in regards to its sort of locations and the costumes and things like that. And I thought that was really good. And the kind of just the quality of the production really looks like they've kind of made some good efforts in there. And so that was kind of the first thing that sort of initially sort of drew me into it. You've also got a few sort of supporting casts that you kind of recognise, maybe not massive actors, but there's certainly some faces you're kind of going to recognise. Oh, I recognise them from that show, and so that gives some sort of good quality, acting for the kind of supporting cast. I will say, I guess the central two characters, the guy who sort of plays John Alden, and the girl who is sort of set up to be the love interest slash kind of main witch at this point, I thought were a little bit flat and kind of generic, I have to say. Maybe not bad, but just kind of a little bit bland. There's kind of lots of sort of special effects on display, the kind of witchy special effects. At kind of first you think, is there really witches, or kind of, is this just kind of like paranoia and this sort of unwarranted sort of persecution? But yes, there really is witches. I think it may have been better to have played that on a little bit longer to sort of see, are there really witches, or is this kind of just the thing that's kind of people are just kind of panicking over nothing over. But it's pretty much confirmed that yes, there are witches sort of fairly early on, and there's some interesting effects here. I mean, some people may get a little bit cross with this sort of TV series. So obviously this is actually based off historical events, and the real sort of Salem was really just down to not really witchcraft at all. It was just people sort of panicking and kind of trying to sort of outmaneuver each other for sometimes political gain and things like that. So I think it may have been an interesting show to have that, but no, it's kind of going down the actual supernatural route. So it's more of a fantasy show, so don't get sort of confused and thinking this is kind of going to be really some sort of historical epic, because it isn't, basically, unless you really do believe the kind of witches are like in this show. So it was a fairly good show. I have to say, I didn't think the storyline quite gripped me, to be honest. Like I said, it comes across as more of a kind of period soap opera more than anything else. I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. It's not too bad, but I think it's maybe not for everyone. What did you think? Leave me a comment and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.